I think the guys and girl, guy that came back was well deserved. I think. I mean, Wolfie, has stood out for quite a while now. He's voted like the most helpful clan member.
Well, we'll save that for the restart.
What?
Hakuna Matata, what a wonderful phrase. Hakuna Matata, ain't no passing craze.
Welcome, everyone. God damn it, Link.
Let's just roll with it. I apologize.
God damn it.
It's like the third take and I keep burping. Let's just roll with it.
You can't hold his gas in.
Like Jupiter.
Well, this is season 4, episode 3. I remember what episode it is on Like Jazzy.
I thought it was season 3. Where are we?
We're on season 4. Season 3 ended in...
What?
I don't know. I don't remember when season 3 ended.
Last year.
Last year, sometime I forget the month exactly. I should know this. I had to type it all out. I'm a failure as the manager.
Jesus Christ, get rid of him.
God damn it. Podcast is dead once again. Anyway, I want to talk to you guys about some small things that have been happening, and then, of course, the bigger and more, I guess, important things that have happened. First, I want to start off with the current council size. I was taken a bit back by how we have 10 councils now total, and what was the deal of adding 4 new people in.
Nightwing, why don't you take this?
I'd like to.
Deja vu.
I'd say like it's not the biggest council we've had, but I feel it's probably one of the more rounded ones that I've had since I became leader. And I think the 4 that got picked, either they all had something to bring that others didn't have, and we had our reasons for picking 4, which we really won't be saying, other than they all fit into what we needed at the time. Link?
Yeah, I mean, like everyone that we wanted in the council and everyone that is in the council are like really good at, specific things, but the problem is a lot of them are like really busy outside the game. So it just made sense to just bring in, if all these people are great and they can't contribute as much as maybe they used to, even in short bursts, that's better than nothing. So, it made more sense to have a bigger council than not have a bigger council. In the past, the choice pool was kind of more difficult, but nowadays it's really, it's quite a big pool, which is cool.
I don't know. I always personally found it a bit easier to pick people back in the past because we had so much like potential people, like more than ever back then. I don't know. That's just how my view of it is today.
I think the weird thing is it goes in dips where there's like a lot of potential, and I think we had like 12 council members when I think Robin was on the council. I think it was 2012.
Yep.
It's 2013. It's one of the two, and then we had 12, and then shortly after it became like 8, and then 7. But and then after that, it kind of dipped where there wasn't a great choice because a lot of people left, a lot of people went inactive, and a lot of people got busy. It just happens. I've been here like 10 years. Actually, 10 years as of last month. I've been a member of JAWA now, so I mean, I've seen a lot of people come and go. Where it's just a thing where people come, go, dips, dip, dab.
What?
Nightwing's dead.
I'm fiddling with things.
Stress.
Yeah, and just to further on from what Link said, it's sometimes there's not a great deal of options for us, but usually every time we do hold an election, there's always either one.
Did you say election then?
Yeah, we do elect them.
I'm just making sure.
I thought it was just called the voting process.
No, it's an election. Okay.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. It's officially called the election now.
But yeah, every time we do one, there's usually one or two who really stand out, and this time, just every single one of them had something to bring.
Really
Not saying
good,
the
yeah.
others didn't, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Did anybody else did anybody like tell you guys or something like why is the council so big now or anything? Anyone address concerns about that?
There was some criticism that certain councils probably didn't deserve to be in the position that they're in now. That's their opinion. They're entitled to it. Completely disagree with them, though. I think everyone on the council deserves to be there, and they're all really good at doing specific things. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been voted council, because everyone gets to vote in the council. So, everyone's not wrong on that.
I think it really takes somebody to be a council to understand what it is that they do in there, to know that it's like you don't get that feeling like, oh, you don't see this person, but she probably do nothing. No, they probably do a lot more than you think that they do. I mean, I guess I'm a good example. I barely was ever seen, but I did quite a bit.
You did too much.
I could have done more, Link.
I remember when I think we were at that time about 300 profiles, and you went through, I think, every single one, maybe
Twice.
3 times? No, I'm sure it's 3.
No, it's
sure?
it's twice, because he made Zoo do the third time because he wanted me to go to sleep.
That was it.
It was like 2 a.m. in the morning, that's why.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, I knew it was done 3 times.
Yeah, I did it twice then, and then I'm like, it's 2 a.m. You're like, go to sleep. I'll make Zoo do it then.
No, that was back when we didn't have any template system. I'm not sure if anyone that listens to this knows anything about, wiki editing, but if you don't use templates, then you're going to be editing a lot of pages to make very simple changes. Whereas now we just edit one template and it affects every single profile, which is brilliant.
If I recall, I did was just copy paste whatever you told me to do. And then I remember the second time you made me go through it because you made a slight error in like a certain part of the code.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then the third time you notice another error that you made. Just full of errors.
Seriously, it's fine now.
Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine. No need to check the code, anyone.
I think I joked to Zoo and oh, I've made another mistake after he finished, and he was not happy.
Oh God. I don't think anybody would be happy if they had to keep going through it over and over because you keep making errors. You'd be like, Link, just do it yourself. Link's so up for 2 days straight trying to do this.
Hey, I did my first share.
Actually, yes, you did.
That was not fun.
I mean, if anything, you do mostly all the foundations of everything first, and then it's just a matter of installing everything in.
It used to be like that quite a lot. I really love it now though, because we've got people like Fish, Helena, Mr. Nightwing over here, who absolutely love wiki editing, and they make their own little templates and just put them across the clan, and they look better than mine. So it's brilliant. Love it.
And you also have Star Killer, who keeps telling me that people need to now make the JAWA in the JAWA wiki all colored, like our tags.
Yeah, that was me and Nightwing. Helena is not a fan of that.
Yeah, like Star Killer told me, like, you had to keep telling a lot of people, you gotta keep doing it, you gotta keep doing it.
Yeah.
So
it's like after like 5 to, I think it's about 7 years actually now, I keep telling her, please just stop calling me Link on the wiki and just put silent. I like calling you Link. I'm like, no, please. And it took a while to get the same format on dates as well, like the 16th of April, for example. It was like April 16th. I was like, no, we've got to stick to one format on this day.
I want to dive into that part of all, because the on this day is probably the most dreaded job on the council, and I should know because I was the first one who did it.
Yeah, it's very difficult to find someone who is actually willing to do this.
Yeah. Jazzy pointed out the last episode that Lacey's the only one who wants it, basically.
Yeah, Lacey's really good at it, isn't he?
Yeah, like I was saying as well, Arceus, when he was on the council, he had on this day, and it's a job that not many people think about because it's not like in the view all the time. People don't see actually that those updates need to be made. But yeah, Arceus, and when Lacey did it last time as well, he did a really good job of it. He brought it up to date by 5 months. It was behind by 5 months when Lacey took over it last time, and he did it within a week, less than that. So yeah, it's a difficult, more boring than difficult, but it's just one of those jobs that's not the most entertaining. But usually we have 1 or 2 people who just do it and do it really well.
Yeah, and if you leave it too long, then it becomes even bigger of a job. So it's one of those where you have to encourage people to, if you don't touch it for like 3 months, then you're not going to touch it for a longer time, and then it gets worse until you get told it needs doing.
That's what you did with me, because I just couldn't touch it anymore. I was like, oh god, this is just too boring. though when I think about it nowadays, what's on this day today has a lot more things than what you told me to put on back when I was doing it. So now I think back to it, I had the easier time doing it, but it was just so boring. Keep doing it.
Yeah, it's very boring. I think I started doing it and I thought, I can't do this.
Is that why? Is that why you told me to do it?
So I need someone to help me with this.
Hey, Diab, do it! God damn it, Link, fine, I'll do it. I mean, at first it wasn't so bad. At first, you're like, you keep doing it, you keep doing it. Then you're like, 1 month is done. They keep doing it. They're like 2 months, and then after you stop, you're like, that's only 2 months within like 30 minutes. Oh my, or like even more, maybe an hour. You're like, good God, this is gonna take forever. So it becomes less enjoyable and less entertaining than ever. You have to take breaks in between. You gotta do something else and come back to it. But then it gets to the point you just don't want to touch it at all anymore.
Defo.
And of course, there is another job that I don't. Is it still difficult? When I was also the first one, is ambassador manager still difficult nowadays?
More so, I'd say.
So it got more difficult than when I was manager.
Ambassador?
Yeah, ambassador manager.
Yeah, I'd say now it's very difficult now because of obviously this sort of server activity in terms of allies has sort of dropped quite a lot. But we have a few good ambassadors as well. Like Nick and System are doing a really good job with the clan matches now. So that helps. Having a good team always helps the manager. So, yeah.
It's funny because it seems like the roles are reversed. What my problem was, and what the problem is today. Because during when I was ambassador manager, the problem was our ambassadors just didn't want to do the job, or our allies were super active. Now today, it seems like the problem is our ambassadors are super active and want to do the job. It's just the allies are not active anymore. It's weird how things have turned around for what it seems.
I think it's one of those jobs again, which is, it's fun if you've got, the resources to do it, but as soon as, like, for example, if a clan who's an ally of us isn't as active as we'd, hope, then it's difficult, and then it becomes a bit tiresome, and then, then you dread, like, getting asked about, why isn't this being done or something being done, because, there's not a lot you can do if another clan isn't being, as active as it should, and we have lost quite a few allies because of that. Unfortunately, like Council Clan, who went into, I think they went into Tor, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. It just happens. You just got to keep pressing on though, and I do agree that it's probably gotten a lot more difficult because of that. Because there's not a great deal of activity compared to maybe 2, 3, 4 years ago.
Can I just throw this out here right now, because this was a problem with, I guess, with the allies. When even I was ambassador manager all the way, like all those years ago. One certain ally that I remember was totally inactive was COF. And apparently they're still super inactive today. Why has the alliance have not been cut off yet from them?
I mean, it's one of those things that we haven't really even spoken about. I mean, the alliance between us and COF is originally it was quite shaky. It took us a while to become even just friends, let alone allies. I think a few years ago they wanted to break the alliance with us because of just inactivity on both sides in terms of, diplomacy, not just activity of the clans, just like that link between us. It's one of those where I think you're right, they are quite inactive, unfortunately, these days, but who knows? It's one of those what we need to look into. Unfortunately, we might have to end that, but I hope we don't, because it's I think AOF's our longest ally, but COF
was the
very
hardest
close.
one to get.
Yeah, it was by far.
Though we also had some other hard ones to get. I remember, I think like EK was also a pretty tough one to get as well.
Yeah, I think we approached them a few times, and it was always like not back because of various problems I can't even remember.
It was weird because I remember we approached them back like all those years ago when I was manager. They didn't give us a response, and then as years went on, we kept approaching them, and then they finally became allies with them.
Yeah, it was quite weird. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Actually, I completely forgot.
I don't. Yeah, actually, I don't remember how did it happen. I'm confused now because I remember we were talking about it. Both sides were talking. Nothing happened. It's just one of those weird things that just somehow had worked.
Right time.
Yeah.
Right place.
And I guess this is. I don't want to keep on this subject for long, but I want to go on to one last thing that I noticed different about the council jobs was apparently now you directed wiki updater to certain people now. Is that people who just edit the wiki and look for problems?
Yeah, I'll speak on this. I wanted to create a role sort of, because not everyone is good at editing the wiki. It requires a lot of patience and a lot of time, and I wanted a group of people who I could basically delegate updating tasks to, people who could rely on to keep updating things like the wiki request forum. Everyone who's a wiki updater is now following that topic, so as soon as someone posts a request, they'll get a notification and it'll be updated. My aim's within 24 hours, so we have constant updates. I think it's a required role that we needed, but it was just a general council duty at one point. But I like now that we've actually got it as a specific role.
All right. I guess that helps because I was scratching my head at that. I'm like, wait, isn't it all the council's job to just do anything wiki? And has Nightwing died again?
I think so. Yeah, it was one of those where, as Nightwing said, a lot of people are good at editing the wiki. A lot of people, don't know how to code in, wiki code. It's not quite the same. It is similar to HTML, which quite a lot of people do know, but it does require a lot of patience and a lot of reading and learning. It's a big thing to undertake, especially if you've just become a council and have to read a huge topic on how to be a council member. It's a lot to take in.
Oh, I remember that huge topic of what the council members need to do, what's expected of you, all that stuff. It's like a huge sticky.
It's big.
Did it get bigger?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's we've actually had another topic which is basically job descriptions of every single role that council members have, to choose, whichever one they get obviously designated. We have descriptions of what sort of required in that role.
So it makes it a lot easier to understand what the jobs are about and what's expected of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. It looks like it's a lot more, I guess, easier and more friendly to newer council members nowadays than it was back in the past when it's just you come in, you get the job, and then you sort of have to figure out what you need to do with it.
Yeah, you get the hell in a conversation for 4 hours.
But now you can just read a huge topic within 15 minutes. Depends how fast you read it.
It's one of those where you can probably just read it in chunks when you need it, to be honest.
It's basically there just as like a help guide, I'm guessing.
Pretty much. Like a little read me.
Hey, you forget? Read me.
Yeah. You can just refer to it if you mess up. I mean, I refer to it now and again. Certain things I just forget, because when you're doing it a long time, like I've been doing it 2 years now, 3 years this March, and you just end up forgetting certain little things that you don't really think's a big deal, but you come across it. But like for new council members, it just takes time, like to adapt and learn what you're doing. Like people like Gravitas, who's just got it, and the newest ones who we've had, like Fish and everything. You just learn and you just take your time to learn. But you have a lot of support. There's obviously me and Link and Helena, who've been here, or who know a lot about what you have to do, who can guide them.
It just feels like, to me, it just feels very weird seeing the council nowadays, in like how much it's evolved and how different it is back all those years ago. Like, it just seems like a lot more organized and a lot more, well, less chaotic. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure you can vouch for how chaotic everything was all those years ago.
It was very on the fly compared to how it is today. There's a lot of reading to do, but it's for a good reason, because the past has shown us, like, we've got holes, you know, and we're in the clan that, you know, that need covering, basically. Like certain job roles need explaining quite well, because if you're not, if you're not told how to do your job properly, then you're not going to do it properly. Because you won't know what you need to do.
And then
so
everyone's
we've
going
tried
to
to
get
get on
angry.
Yeah, we've had that before.
Alright,
That's always fun.
I want to move away from this council stuff, because we can just probably do an entire episode on this, but I don't want to. That's probably for another time to just keep talking about it. But I want to talk about you, like, asking people if they're interested in bringing back JAWA cards. Where did the idea of asking people come about for this?
I know you wanted to get away from this, but it was when I was checking the wiki, just going through it. I noticed Nightwing took the JAWA cards off the main navigation for good reason, because it was called yearly cards, and you know it wasn't exactly yearly. 2012 and to now, it's only been done once. So I just renamed it JAWA cards, and then I just thought maybe people, you know, 3 years later might actually want these again. So I've just asked, you know, the question. So far we've got about half the people we need, which is 30. Because if you have less than that, you don't make a profit. And oddly enough, if you have more than that, like 40, you don't make a profit. It's very specific. It has to be 30 with the company that I use, which are really good and the cheapest by far.
Of course, the concern is once you have that 30, they have to purchase it, though. Because if not, it's like, what's the point of showing interest if you're not going to buy it?
Yeah, we had a lot of that in 2012 where people said, oh, I'll buy them, definitely. And then when it came to it, it was like, oh, actually, I can't. And I'm just sat here, like, piled with cards on top, like, oh, someone buy these cards. And so thankfully, I think it was Jazzy, I could be wrong on that, purchased quite a few for other people. And it went into, I think it was like a lottery, if I remember correctly. It was near the birthday.
I bought 10.
Was that you?
Yeah, I bought 10 of them.
Some Keldor donated a lot of money, and so those went out to other people, and he also bribed himself into leadership.
That explains a lot here.
We all know that happened.
Oh no!
Don't tell him. Don't expose anymore. Of course. I'm not going to say I'm interested, because I know you do not want to send it to me all the way over here. I would have to buy, like how many
postage alone would be like the cost of all the cards. Do you know what? I was actually, and I've never mentioned this to you, but I was like, please don't buy any cards. I was like, please don't. It's because I knew it would cost an absolute fortune. I don't know how much it would cost, but I can't see it being cheap.
Well, it would be probably quite a bit, because you have to ship it all the way from England all the way to Hawaii. You know, especially especially if you use plane, that's gonna be quite a bit.
Yeah.
Of course, if you do it by boat, it's a lot, probably a lot cheaper, but I'll probably get it within a year.
Yeah, maybe next year.
Next year, you know, if I get the cars and then I buy another one, you do the same thing.
It's an old man in his shirt. What it is.
Oh, God. Anyway, I guess that was probably the shortest thing to talk about of everything here.
It's not a lot to say, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just, I was just
yeah.
interested in, you know, this small bit of it. Now, this is probably one of the first of the big things here. The upcoming forum update that you have planned. We're gonna,
Oh God!
Yeah,
let me get the thread out.
Okay.
Go on.
Alright, so I really have nothing else typed out about it, but all I know is that we're gonna switch to a better version of what we have right now. Is that what it is?
It's essentially we're on what's called Envision Power Services 3, officially called Envision Power Board 3, but it's all going into one big package. It's hard to explain. It's basically there's a lot of different services Envision provides, and now it's going to be in just one thing, which you just buy and then you've got everything. It's just called IPS 4, and we're on 3, and we're basically going to 4. It's a lot cleaner, it's a lot faster, and it is so much easier to update, which I love.
When was what was the year when we switched to the current form that we have today?
2012?
Because I remember back then when everyone was making the fuss about, oh my god, we're switching forms. No, I like the old form.
Yeah, we went from PHP BB2 to PHP BB3 from 2006 to 2008, and then PHP BB3 to IPB3. God, too many threes. In 2012, and now we're going to IPS 4 in 2015. So,
but you know,
yeah, there's quite a lot.
There shouldn't be that much of a dramatic change though, because it's pretty much the same design. It's just a lot more like it just looks better overall.
It's a lot more round. This is the way I see it.
It's a lot more round.
Oh.
I'm trying to picture that right now.
The website is you have to look at it through a glass.
What have you done, Link? It's even more broken than before.
What happens to the future?
Yeah, but the future isn't now.
No. Yeah, like avatars I've noticed are going to be round. So, you know, my avatar's going to be in like a little bubble. So that'll be fun. I'll probably get loads of complaints about that, but
oh god, I can really see people saying, "Why is it round? Can you just turn it square again?"
No. There will be a lot of complaints. A lot of people. Some people think I don't like change in the clan, but I love it, and a lot of people don't actually like change for real, and they're gonna hate it. And it's one of those things that they'll have to get used to because they loved PHP BB3, and they hated what we have now, but then ended up loving it. So, I mean, it's just one of them things they have to get used to.
And of course,
it's not good for everyone.
I'm sure they're going to say the phrase that you hate the most. If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah, we'd still be in the Stone Age if we weren't by that.
It's got to keep progressing as much as, you know, if you don't, you know, it's like, it's not broken, it doesn't matter. Let's just keep making it better.
Yeah. It's not broken, but let's make it better.
So let's keep making it better so it doesn't break.
Yeah.
Quickly, get me more duct tape. We gotta make this better. Get me the glue. Reinforcements. Alright, now let's get into the more... well, I guess this is the part where Nightwing doesn't say a word. Because
can you flash a picture of like him and his new sideburns?
This is what this entire mess made Nightwing turn into.
Look what you've done.
Oh. Poor Nightwing. Soon there's gonna be nothing left at all.
Just a big pile of grey matter.
Rest in peace for Nightwing when that happens. If when that happens, he'll just be on Minecraft forever. He'll become one with the pixels.
Yeah.
But anyway, this started with a whole other problem, but we'll get to it last. But what I like to call this the Suggestion Mayhem. What that happened, very recently.
Mm.
And it all started with 2 suggestions made.
Yep.
One was for Hall of Fame tags, and the other was for was it the council like like the council elections that the members get to choose instead type of thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
well, I mean, it didn't actually.
and it's
It didn't actually
exploded.
start there. Yeah. I probably won't go into it, to be honest, because it'll probably just drag everything back up in terms of what happened before that. But let's just say it wasn't the start of, the spark that caused all this mess.
But it pretty much added all the fuel to the flames that are already lit.
Yeah, the reaction to the way me and Nightwing replied was just, it wasn't received very well. Especially, it's probably Nightwing's fault for not, and this bit anyway was probably not Nightwing's fault for not, that joke that he made. I knew it was a joke, 100% definitely, but I knew afterwards, thinking actually, other people probably wouldn't have seen it as a joke. But thankfully, if you think about it, most of the clan didn't take it, to heart anyway. But some people did. It didn't end very well, as you can see.
I think a lot of people, like people have said that whenever the leaders kind of say no, it's kind of like final judgment in their eyes.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Helena says it quite a lot in the council area, where if I replied, like in the past, if I replied straight away saying, "Oh, actually, I'm not a fan of this," she would say, "Link, stop replying to my thread straight away because it puts other people off." It must be true because if other people are saying it, then it's something there. So
it's something about the leader or leaders at this point coming up and saying no to your suggestions, because it's kind of like saying the top, like the people like running the major things in the clan are coming down and saying I don't see it working and all that stuff. So it's kind of like telling the member it just won't work, period. We're not gonna it just won't happen as long as we're like in charge type of thing. I guess that's why people start feeling like I should never suggest things or try or I should just keep pushing it in your guys' faces type of thing for you guys to see it'll work.
I think it's a fair point. I think from now on anyway, I'm going to keep my nose quite clear out of unless I'm making a suggestion myself. I'm going to keep my nose quite out of it until at least the end, or out of it entirely, because I just don't think it's a good idea anymore, to be honest.
The best way is probably to have the council members probably reply to it, share their things, and if the council likes it, then maybe you guys should discuss it in the council then. Instead of you guys having to come down and, I don't know, like, destroy morale of the people who want to suggest things. Someone just messaged me something on Skype.
That was me. Be right back. Sorry. I was trying to be discreet.
Oh.
What I'll say, though, is, me and Link had a talk about it, and from our point of view, when we do reply to stuff, we're not necessarily replying as a leader, we're replying as ourselves. But obviously people do see it that way. That's one reason why I usually, when we do council discussions for the new councillors, I usually vote last, so no one's influenced by what I say. But me and Link had a talk about this when it was going on, and we do agree, we're probably just going to not give our opinions till either close to the end or sort of if it's gone to a discussion about it. So really we're just going to sort of be more sort of not obviously saying what we said, because obviously the way I handled it wasn't the best, even though, like Link said, the image that I used was a joke. Nick ended up. I talked to Nick, and he obviously didn't take it that way, but he wasn't really sort of bothered about it at the end. Because I usually got on well with Nick, so I thought Nick would take it in the way that I thought. But things happen like that, and sometimes it's just like I said, I posted an apology for the way things were handled, and all we can do is just move on and sort of improve from what's happened.
Yeah, I think it's quite clear that, you know, there were a lot of faults on both sides, including mine and Nightwing's, I mean, and the council's in general. I mean, it wasn't handled the best, and I think the other people involved, you know, I think they know that it wasn't handled best by them either. And if they don't, then they didn't handle it right. It was a mess, to put it simple.
And now, I guess, you know, he says something else started this all. I guess it's time we go into that final bit, because there is something that started this all that pretty much the clan knows about it now, but, you know, they don't know it. Nightwing, did you explain like everything from start to finish, how did it happen? In that
No, I didn't want to go into everything, because it just, like I said, it's just drawing up things again, and it was best I just gave a description of what sort of happened in a general way, and sort of my thoughts on it, and some thoughts of it was mainly my thoughts basically, because I was on another way for most of what happened, just posting occasionally, so that's why I ended up handling the ending of it, because I had the distance there, and I was probably the most distance from it in terms of sort of unbiasedness, I guess. I knew I'd made mistakes with that other thread, but the rest of it, it needed to be ended in a way that was best for everyone, and I think we achieved that with that thread.
I like the way it was written, because it wasn't in a way that it was like, oh, here we go again or anything. It was just like, this is what happened. We need to move on. Because I think everyone's a bit sick and tired of the usual drama anyway. So I don't think anyone really. I know for a fact that no one challenged it because it was written so well. That noise.
Yeah.
That's my cat.
That's Link's.
Oh God! Wow.
Oh, the thoughts.
I'm probably gonna have to actually censor that right there. You know, there's some things I just won't censor, but oh, the jokes you can make with that at this point.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, let's not go into that. Got to censor the entire thing. This ain't JAWA After Dark.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
Anyway, where were we?
It's basically everyone's really tired of it, I think, and I think it's best for all parties involved if we just split ways. I don't like saying permanently because things change, but I think it's time to end it, and I think we can both, both parties agree on that.
But it was his last chance, though, right? I mean, because when we
and let's not beat around the bush. We're talking about Dopey here.
Yeah, we're talking about Dopey. Yeah, it was his last chance, though, here, because that's when we voted him. Didn't you guys make it clear to him it was his last chance?
Yeah, I think I was I in the clan at that point? Not the clan, the council.
You wasn't leader at that point, no. We basically decided that it was the last straw. It was we was gonna give him the opportunity to come back and make amends for everything, which he did for a while. But then obviously not everything was healed. But now I gave Dopey a lot of chances, and I sort of forgave him for a lot of things that happened. Like I explained in the thread, I got on well with him most of the time after he came back, but I think now, personally, he shouldn't come back, because I think if you keep trying to come back and the same things keep happening, it's just not going to work. and there's no point trying to make it work because it's just going to end up the same way it has ended up before. And I think it's best for everyone if they just move on, find something that they enjoy and do it, and just not get involved in all that again.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, including Dopey, have said, you know, Dopey wants to make it up with me, for example, and I think he got quite frustrated because I never really reciprocated that. And the reason I told him, I think, a few months after all this kicked off originally, you know, I do forgive him and everything, you know, it's water under the bridge, but I don't, it's not to sound harsh, but I don't really want to be his friend. I do want to say nothing personal, but it kind of was. I mean, he made fun originally, this is not now, of a lot of my friends, and it just wasn't on. And I was just really tired of it. I did tell him, if you do this, you know, we're not going to be friends, and it carried on, and I said, that's it. And I don't think he quite believed me at the time. He thought, you know, we'd become friends again. And I did add him on Facebook once to give him, you know, the benefit of the doubt to try and, like, mend the bridges, but it just kept coming up, and I was so sick of it to the point where I very rarely cut off communication with people. It's only happened a couple of times, I think. But it drove me mad, and I think it drove him mad that I wasn't really responding in a friendly way, and he did quite, you know, extend his hand out quite a lot, especially, you know, this time around. But it's just, I'm done, you know. Professionally in the clan, we could easily work together quite well, even like if we did the podcast and everything. But as friends, it's gone. Unfortunately, I never really wanted that because I did consider him one of maybe even my best friend at one point in the clan. But there's only so much you can take when you hear your friends being targeted and all this stuff. But again, that was years ago, like 2 years ago now. But this recent stuff, it's just, it just needed to end, I think, for everyone.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can talk about right now that I have not typed down, but really nothing comes to mind. I think there's not much really else to talk about.
I've got a little notepad here with all the little things that I'm planning on doing. Nightwing's got his own little notepad full of stuff that he wants to change as well. I could go over that real quick.
If you guys want to go around what you guys have planned for the future, that'd be nice.
Yeah. Right. My little to-do list, I won't say little because it's a lot of work, unfortunately. One of the things I did do, which is crossed off, is on the wiki profiles, the Colosseum, which has not been a thing for many years, has now been renamed to Sig of the Week on every single profile on the forum. So, on the accomplishments. We're going to cut down that size because, for example, Nightwing, you have way too many skills.
No.
You have too many accomplishments. I need to cut that down.
Don't take them away, Link.
So, basically, the idea is, this hasn't been approved, it's just ideas on pen and paper. I may as well discuss it, who cares? Is to basically put Sig of the Week and then put under it wins, and then the amount of wins, and then that links to, you know, the Sig of the Week page where they can view what they won. I'm going to go back to a lot of very old pages, like the weekly event. Geez, that hasn't been around for a while. And just make it look a bit nicer, archive it in a good way, which isn't just like a lost page in the depths of the wiki that's never going to be seen again. I'm going to make the server info page look nicer, which hasn't been touched in a while and is our most popular page. I'm going to make that quite a lot more interactive. It should be good. Memes. I've started doing the Ivanova meme. So it's called Scurry Ivanova, so that should be good. I've actually sort of finished it. I just need to tweak it a bit. I'm gonna right, okay. I'm gonna look into making new profiles. So you won't be replacing like 1,000 pages anymore. So thankfully we've got the template. So I'm gonna roll that out soon. I just need to make a design that is better than what we've got. Now, this is the one thing that hasn't been done, which has been on my to-do list for a while, is make an events area that is actually an events area. Because if you look on the wiki, events are scattered out everywhere. There's no central place for events. So I've started categorizing like everything as an event. in actual categories on the wiki, and then I'm going to make a one big page with every event that we do in the clan, which is over 50, which is pretty impressive, I think. As you've probably seen on the forum as well, Helen has started doing little pages for the wiki, like the picnic that we had on Yavin on the map. So I think it's quite a cool idea, actually. So we're going to sort of like, now this isn't the name for it, but a sort of random occurrences sort of area on the wiki, which may not have a lot of historical relevance, but it's pretty cool. I liked the page that she made. Speaking of Helen and pages, she's going to make a JAWA temple map page explaining, like, what the developments behind it, the ideas behind it, what inspired her, hopefully. I'm just waiting to hear back enough from that, but she's been really busy lately, so it makes sense. Update the ranks page, which I've sort of done. Just need to fix some width. I'm going to put a page on the wiki with April Fools, like every April Fools that we've done in the clan. Just a little bit of fun, like the random occurrences sort of thing that we were talking about. Basically just round up old pages and give them meanings, like JAWA Ease, which is the oldest page on our wiki, which makes absolutely no sense to be there. But it's sort of like an old artifact that I don't really want to get rid of, because it was just me, like, what's a wiki? And just started filling it with copy and pasting it from other people on the internet. So it's quite kind of cool. I'm not sure if I'll keep it, but I'm pretty sure I will. That's it. I am out of breath.
I've just been doing not much for the past.
The end.
The end.
Nightwing, everyone.
But I've just been. I think when you step back a bit, I mean, Link will probably realise this as well, when he took a year-long break away from everything. You sort of see things from a different way, and that's why I like to do this now and again. You notice things that you wouldn't notice if you was there 24/7. And the other day I went through all the forum and basically found pretty much a full page worth of updates that need doing, which I'll probably end up doing when I return on the 5th. And then on top of that, I've come up with an idea that me and Link put together for a new tournament for a bit of fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's not within JKA, but it's definitely got quite a few members who I think are going to be interested in it. So that should be good. I don't know whether I should announce it now or just post when it's
go on then. Go on. Yeah, I mean, you'll probably post it beforehand anyway, I'm guessing, because, this is, this is a really cool idea.
But me and Link sort of, I think, did we discuss it when we met up?
I think we did, yeah.
Yeah. Basically what we want to do is, because we've got a lot of people in the clan who play Pokemon, so then we proposed the idea of maybe like a league for JAWA on Pokemon. Sort of advert like a tournament bracket of people, and have them do matches a bit like Power 10, and then claim sort of the Pokemon champion of JAWA at the end, and they'll get like an award for it, like a mini signature or something, just for a bit of fun, really, just to bring us sort of together more, because although we do play JAWA, there's probably a few small groups who play other games with each other, and I just think it'd be sort of another nice little thing that we can do, maybe once a year or even more frequently, just for that little extra sort of fun event, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, me and Nightwing were recently discussing this. I mean, I don't think JK will ever die. I don't think it's ever going to go away, even with the master server acting off. Well, I wouldn't say acting off, people are attacking it, which is fun. But I don't think it'll ever go away fully. So we're always going to be around. There's no way I'm ever going to close the clan. I don't think Nightwing would either.
Nope.
So it's basically not going away. So we'll always play JKA, but I think it's time to face the fact that whilst it won't ever go away, the activity it's not going up. It's not quite going down here because the same base of people is still playing and always keep coming back. I mean, this past week alone, like the past 7 days, there's been so many people coming back. It's unbelievable. That's what the whole picnic thing was for. And then you see Nit and Fox and all those people just turn up randomly. It's great. It goes to show that people will always keep coming back. But at the same time, we sort of not need to expand into other games, but do more fun stuff outside the server. Because I think the forum will definitely always be here. The game, more than likely, will always be here. We'll never move away from that. That is never going to happen. But at the same time, we need to sort of breach those walls a bit. Yeah,
I think this month in particular for me, because I've always been a bit of a roller coaster with JAWA. I've sort of loved and hated it at times when certain things have happened. As Link will know, because he's took me off the edge a few times. Same with Xantos. But having a clan and having a community like this has always been something I've always wanted. So as long as the website is still up, and I'm assuming Link will always keep it up, because he's been in it for so long.
The KFC, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, once I can fund it as well, I'll start funding it. But I'll never leave the website, and I'll never leave JK. As long as we have JK alive, I'll always be in it. And for as long as the members and Link want me around, I'll always be here to sort of continuously trying to improve the website, the forum, the wiki, and the clan in general. So, as far as I'm aware, we've gone 10 years, and we can go definitely another 10 if we just have the support of the members and the forum community as a general, because we have a lot of guests who come on the forum who are not part of the clan or never been a part of the clan, but they still stick around and sort of participate in the conversations that happen. So we definitely want to improve that sort of forum community as well as the server community.
Yeah, I was thinking about that today, actually, because whilst a lot of these people, like Pod, for example, isn't part of the clan anymore, or people who have never been part of the clan who post on the forum, they actually are part of the clan in a weird way. I mean, we've got 83 people as of today visit the forum like that. I mean, that's gone into the hundreds many times, and half of those don't even have membership in the clan. So it just goes to show that our community isn't just the number on our members page; it's a very, very high number outside of that.
I mean, I was viewing the statistics of the site recently, which I love to do, and I was noticing we have a lot of guests visiting the forum as well, and they don't show up as how many members have viewed the site because the guests. So while we do, like you said, we've had 83 today. We've probably doubled that at least in terms of guests. We've probably had about 160 people online today with guests. So the forum is definitely alive. The server, I made a post today which just broke. The coding broke on it.
Oh,
so
I hate that. IPS4.
But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, we'll always be around. And as long as the members keep coming back, we'll always be here. Me and Link specifically will always be here to sort of keep us going. And yeah, you can't get rid of me, basically. Yeah. Until the next time.
Yeah, I mean, Nightwing's said many times, I'm sick of it, I want to go. And I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not.
You love your job.
Although I say I want to go, I know I never will.
I'm the same. It gets to you sometimes, but yeah.
It does. But having those people who, after I made that post recently, I had a few people come up to me and just start talking to me about stuff. And it helps having that support network. Even as a leader, you feel very lonely at times.
I mean, before you made that post, I thought people, even though it was very, you posted it in the leader section, it was really well worded. I thought it's gonna, people are gonna leave, and people are gonna be unhappy, people are gonna start arguing, and it was just like everyone was like, actually, you're right, and we all should just move on. Even friends of Dopey were kind of tired of it. I won't go into names specifically, to protect them, but one in general did want to just pack up and leave because it was just too much. So, I mean, it makes you feel good inside knowing that after reading that thread, that's why we're here. I mean, everyone's like in this together, and the drama is so small in compared to all the goodness in the clan. It just makes you feel good, and you feel actually why am I so sick of the clan when actually it's just very tiny percentage trying to make it a bit difficult to like it, and then you think actually it's not, it's all good, in my opinion.
So good.
It's good.
It's good.
Oh god. What was that from? Bruce Almighty?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bruce Almighty.
With Morgan Freeman as God.
Perfect.
That's the perfect world right there.
Oh yeah.
And
I just sorry, just to interrupt. I just saw someone on the server called I Eat Babies. That's why I love this clan. It's crazy. Even the people that really try to get under your skin, it's funny. Everyone's different. We may not agree with them and a lot of things they say, but like I Eat Babies, for example. But it's unique. Definitely, you won't see that anywhere else.
Only on Jedi Academy.
Yes. Yeah, and if everyone thinks that I might have lost my way, let's just say I did this interview knowing that I would upset my girlfriend because we were meant to have date night tonight. So I know. So let's just say I made a bit of a sacrifice.
So is that what you meant saying it'll be our first date in years?
Yeah.
Oh god. She'll do the whole. You like JAWA more than I.
Well, don't worry, that has been said.
Oh really?
Link will resign tomorrow.
It's fun. Don't worry.
Oh, it's been a good ride, Link.
Bye. Nah, she's cool about it. She's really good. What?
Nice.
Sorry.